Doesn't matter whether you're a Republican or a Democrat, every president is always accused by the opposition party of doing things that are unconstitutional and illegal. It's just like part of politics. And so it is really, kind of, in my opinion, a little bit self-serving and somewhat short-sighted to go down this whole thing of, well, they need to be able to follow the law. It's true. I think they do need to follow the law. The judiciary has a role in that, but certainly not the local judges. If anything, there's going to be some sort of conflict, and if there's going to be a tug of war, that needs to be between the Supreme Court and the executive branch. The Supreme Court is the one that is supposed to be that check on executive power, and we have seen that happen over and over again in a way that it really should happen. And so, quite frankly, the majority opinion, it makes sense to me logically. This is not like there are some issues where I'm just like, yes, this is absolutely right. Yes, this is absolutely wrong. This is one of those areas where I think that there's plenty of room for, the majority opinion to be well within the reason of common sense and the minority opinion to have some reasonable arguments. We are going to see some rulings on birthright citizen. I'm actually going to reach out to my friend Euripsy and see if she might do a little bit more on the implications of that, what the Supreme Court might look at, because a lot of times when these Supreme Court rulings are coming out, it's not necessarily something that makes logical sense, but they're appealing to some sort of doctrine and they're looking at case law and all of these other things that are going on there. And let me make one more point related to this idea of an imperial judiciary. One of the things that Amy Coney Barrett mentioned when she was offering her remarks, she was saying that, while the Democrats, and she was referring to Ketanji Brown Jackson, was worried about, creating this like imperial executive branch that's basically going to do whatever you want. Ketanji Brown Jackson is like, well, we're going to swap that out for like an imperial judiciary where all of these judges can like take it upon themselves to just like enforce the law and do whatever they want. There are incredible risks either way with that. So I do find that this is going to be interesting as we kind of really get into the nuts and bolts of, what are the boundaries of executive power? And if it's not the judges, whose job is it to step in and say this is what you're doing is illegal and wrong? Well, I would argue that it's the Supreme Court, but of course that's not an answer for the Democrats because it's a 6-3 majority.